Hi there and welcome to tea leaf readings. My name is Lenore and today I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. So we're going to go ahead. We're just going to start. We have a butterfly right in the middle there. That is a wonderful first formation to receive, to notice. This is one of evolution, right? Self-growth, self-work, and then growth through that, right? So there is a sense of metamorphosis. We also have the butterfly kind of looks like it's it's moving, right? So this is an active process that you are in. Okay. We have down here, it is a deer, I would say. We have the number, I'm going to say 5 by itself and then 37. 5 and then also 37. Okay. Now the deer seems to be a stag. We have the antlers up here. And let me get my stick here. So we have the head. We have the body. It comes down into the body. We have the antlers up here. This is a sign, definitely, always in my mind, a sign of potent, vital energies. Potent creativity, or the creative force, I should say, right? That fire energy. Now, we also have right over here, it looks like Saturn. I'm going to go with Saturn. I also was like, is that a UFO? But I do think it's Saturn. Okay. But if you see it is far behind right over here. Now I keep wanting to say reindeer, deer, the stag, looking towards the future. We have the heart up here. Okay. So I feel like you're coming out of maybe a period of melancholy. It could be, if you are in the northern hemisphere or maybe even in the south, right? Coming out of our extreme, season that we've been in. If it was summer, if it was winter for you, now we're going into spring and fall. We're already there technically. And yeah, a lot of people are affected by the seasons, right? And also just the way the world has been, just the way it's been. But I think there seems to be an energy of stepping out of that kind of sunken feeling place. Okay. Now, I feel like with the deer, there must be an element of its spirituality. It's religious, maybe. It could be, definitely. But what it feels like to me is almost kind of like coming to an understanding within a more modern context. So we have like this, a lot of content right now, and maybe it's just my algorithm, but where we're talking a lot about our nervous systems, right? We're talking about our nervous systems, how, some of us have kind of these like hypersensory, capable minds, bodies, and psyches, really. And this isn't just, it's not woo-woo. It's not. It can, it bumps up against it and maybe swims in there a little bit. But it really is that, certain people for a variety of reasons, different configurations, just perceive and are able to process more data than other people, you know. And I think a lot of times these are people that are highly intuitive. These are people that, you know, maybe are psychic, clairvoyant, so on and so forth. This isn't, it sounds like, okay, well, that's fantastic, you know. The thing is, I think a lot of people do not know how to process all of that information, and it becomes burnout. It becomes anxiety. It becomes, you know, depression, anger, feeling isolated, feeling alienated, unable to, you know, communicate with other people in a way that seems truly not symbiotic, but each is understanding one another. You know, I mean, you can talk to people all day, and oftentimes you just know that they're listening and trying, you know, trying to like hear what you're saying, and okay. And then there are times when you meet somebody, you can see them feeling what you're saying, like in their body. You know what I mean? They're experiencing it, and maybe they don't understand all of the stuff or whatever, but they are experiencing it on a different level or in a different way or whatever. And I feel like when we are in this place where our nervous systems especially are just not regulated well, and the way that we're living does not promote a more balanced, flowing nervous system or mind, body, spirit, you know, yeah, like we're gonna have problems. We can't hear each other. We can't get things done. We don't, you know, things are really, they seem very heightened, or they seem very, like, very muted and kind of just, you know, very, well, melancholy, right? And so, I feel like for you, it seems like you maybe have been through a time where it's been so much. Everything has been so much. And it's almost like that, like, feeling of like, I can never catch up on my sleep, right? Like, there's no way. Finally, you get to a day where you can sleep in, or you can get extra sleep, and then, you know, you sleep an extra couple hours, you wake up with a headache because your body's sore from sleeping too long. You know, it's that kind of like, but then you have this moment where I feel like it's almost kind of like through, I think, almost listening to yourself, maybe adjusting some things for yourself, letting go of something that is really, like, you know, like maybe you go to a place. I mean, it could even be like your job, dude, like, for real. I'm not going to tell you to quit your job, but I will say, you know, or it's like, if you can imagine going to school, right? Like, I'm really, like 100% into, homeschooling my daughter next year, because I can see going away from us into the school system right now. She has so much dread about it, and I'm, you know, and like, I don't know exactly what it is yet. Like, I haven't figured it out. I'm trying to figure out exactly what's going on, and we've been adjusting things, you know what I mean? And then it's like, and then the other times of the day, there's grumpiness, there's sad, you know, and no, we're going to adjust the way that we live to promote an environment or an alternative way of educating or whatever, a hybrid system, right? Or whatever it is. And it's going to keep changing until we find what's right. And if that stops working, then we'll keep, we'll change again. Cool. You know what I mean? And so I think when we get in, and I'm using this as an example, and, when we have the ability, let me just say it's a privilege to even be able to consider being able to be, at home with my daughter and all of that. I 100% see that and feel that and understand that. So I want to say that as I'm saying this, because believe me, I've almost never been in a situation where staying home and teaching your kid was even an option, because it was about eking it out from the cradle until just like a couple years ago. It has been eking it out. So I get it. And if you're like, well, that's nice for you. Yeah, I get it 100%. So we do what we must, right? We have to figure it out how we can. Now, if these are big adjustments where you start to realize, like, maybe it's like a person in my life, maybe it's a place I'm going, often. And it's like I'm getting real funky because I don't even want to go there, but I'm still going there, and I'm struggling through it. And it's affecting everything else, right? So then we reorient our lives, right? When we become readily aware, like, this is just not worth how I'm feeling. Because feeling bad at 11 o'clock in the morning, and you're just like, I don't want to be here. This is terrible. Tell me that's not going to affect a lot of your day. And also tell me why we have been trained to just get over it. I mean, listen, for efficiency, yeah, I get it. Sometimes we just got to suck it up. We'll get it through. When we go home, we'll take off our masks and we'll have it out. You know what I mean? We'll just let it all out. But why the majority of life having to be like that for people? I don't know. But I'm realizing every day for myself, I'm all along on this journey with you. That I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be out here being rude to people or making life harder for anybody or anything like that. But babe, I'm not pretending anymore. You know what I mean? And if I have to do something that's hard to readjust my life or make a sacrifice of some kind or whatever, we're going to do that. To get to a place where our nervous systems aren't up and down. You know what I mean? And when we are able to do that for ourselves in any which way that we can, babe, I don't care if it's you don't like a person that stops at the same gas station every morning for some coffee and I don't know if I don't care, smokes or whatever, right? And it's the same weirdo that's in there, and it just, you get that energy on. Listen, even if it's something like that, just let's switch it to a new place. We don't have to be locked into everything. Let's switch some stuff and see how the energy flows through our lives. Man, we need some, what is that called? Feng shui in our lives to create channels for energies to flow in and out of our lives in ways that leaves us feeling powered instead of drained or uncomfortable. And you're spending all your day trying not to freak out because you're uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And then you are expected to succeed in some way. How do you have energy? So I see you in this place, and I'm looking at it. I'm like, is this religious? Is this a spiritual thing? I feel like it is a very practical revelation that is very spiritual, because it's freeing in a way that brings you ease, letting yourself not feel guilty or shame for, listen, we all want to do all the things. We want to be helpful, of service. We want our families to be well. We want, to, I don't know, I was going to say appear like good, well within the community. I don't care about that. I mean, I do care, I don't really care. I don't think I care. I don't think I care. But you know what I mean? Like, what I really want is for the people I love to know that I will be there. You know what I mean? For the people who are my people, who are within my community, chosen community, and chosen people, I want them to know that, word is bond. I'm going to show up. I take up for mine, which is 100% true. But other than that, no, I don't care. I don't think you care either, which, dabs, right? But I see you having this, and listen, these revelations do not come under like the sky, a clear blue, beautiful, sunny day sky. This is coming out of that Saturn, right? Energy. Troubled times, man. Troubled times. That's when we, like, I don't know about you, I'll put up with a lot of stuff when it's sunny and I'm having fun and I'm, like, out there playing with the hose and, screaming and hollering with my daughter, I'll let things, just roll right off my back. I don't care, okay, cool, we're gonna go play, whatever. You know what I mean? But when the sky is dark and it's cold and, things feel like they're getting sticky out there, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's when you are like, all right, man, we are in time to survive this mode. Like cut and dry. I'm starting to realize I'm a little frazzled, so we are going to get rid of what doesn't belong in my life right now, right? People, places, tasks that you're doing that like you just like, why do I even do this anymore? Get rid of it. Get rid of it. It is cleaning the decks time. Okay. So that's what that deer is really about here. Is getting ourselves into that situation, into that environment, into that mindset, into that, the energetic, nervous system-y place where things are flowing through us, not getting stuck, right? We're not getting all that stuck energy. And that's, that's going to open you up to be doing all kinds of stuff. Which, please, we are in a time, I would say, well, I was going to say, we are in a time of wolves. Look at this guy up here. Look at those eyes and the nose. Yeah, we have the wolf. And then down here, it looks like we have the deer again with the antlers. But we also have the eye, right? And up here we have that Saturn energy. Look at Saturn with, it's Zeus, right? I think it's Zeus he tries to get and he doesn't. But, he, if you know if you do or don't know the mythology of Saturn, basically, homie did not want to give up his throne, right? He did not want to be cast out of the golden era. And so, as he was having children, he would consume them so that they wouldn't take over, which, is interpreted in a lot of different ways, right? And depends on the mystery cult or, the allegory or whatever. It's different in different strands, okay? But really it is that kind of ruthlessness. It is that, you know, a sense of owning others, owning things that just because, like, this is mine, I rather destroy it than let anybody else have it kind of mentality. Excuse me. And so, we have that wolf, we have that predator energy, we have that sacred energy down here. Now, what happens when we shift in our life, right? People around us hopefully are supportive. You know, even if it's a little out there, they might be like, well, we're going to keep an eye on that one. You know what I mean? Privately, let's see where this one goes. But they're supportive nonetheless, right? Like, cautiously. And it might be, you might be like super into something. You're like, I'm changing my whole life, my whole way of living, eating, exercise, all that stuff, right? But then we also have the energy of just not understanding what you're doing, and therefore something's wrong, it's a threat. Right? Or they are, what is that thing called? It's like pseudo camaraderie or something like that, where it's an aggression where they're just like back and forth. All you do is kind of like talk smack to each other. It's sarcastic, making a joke of everything you're doing, but oh no, I'm kidding. I'm kidding, but it hurts, and you know what I mean? That kind of dynamic. And I feel like there's that energy of the oppressive devourer, right? Of the, I only see in my one narrow worldview, you know? And it's like, bro, so old. Like, we're living, like, in at least, like, 3 or 4 timelines now, my friend. Like, you know, like, you need to get some cognitive dissonance going up in there. But I think really what it comes down to is there will be a need for you to be cautious of what you say to people, what you talk to people about. This is going to be a time where everything, if people are cooperating or not, is being witnessed by, I mean, you have to just assume anything you say or put on the thing, your device, or, you know, whatever, writing down, whatever, man. Like, I mean, you could be outside talking to yourself. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to go to the point where it's like they can read what your mind, but I mean, at this point, bro, come on now. You don't even need to, right? They can read your mind because you're looking up the stuff that you're thinking about. You are communicating with people. You are, you know, when you scroll and you slow down and kind of hover over one picture, all of that is metrics, bro. Like, information, right? So we're all going to have to really, really, and I'm not trying to go to like the extremes here, because honestly I feel like there's so much data that like it's almost good, but also they have efficient ways of going through it. I don't know. More data almost means like more places to get into the fuzz, I think. I don't know. But here's the thing. You have to just be really mindful. I don't care how benign it seems. We need to think about what we say to other people. We need to think about what we are spending our time with. And I don't mean that in a like a I'm for it, against it, it just is what it is. I'm a mom, and I'm just going to tell you what I'm seeing. And I'm somebody who's been into the saying what I just said when I was a teen. If somebody said that to me, I would be like, okay. You sound like my great grandma who said that when we got when the first TV she got, she didn't want it because if she could hear it, it could hear her and what they're talking about. And you know what I mean? And everybody's like, oh, she's just old. Bro. A woman before her time. You know what I mean? Everything sounds nuts until it doesn't. Just saying, right? So on a very zoomed in scale here, whoever this is, and I don't think it's like some shadowy, like you don't even know who they are type thing. That's not what I'm saying. Sorry, I got side railed on. I'm starting to talk to my daughter about like the internet a little bit, and like I'm talking about my kid a lot this time, sorry. But I'm not sorry, she's the dopest. But she's like screen free most of the time, so, and that's no judgment, it's just what works for us behaviorally and for just her mind, right? I mean, that's the big thing. Her mind first and then the behavior second, because it's obviously whatever you're putting in there, it's coming right back out. So I'm starting to talk to her about the internet, like in a real, like all of this stuff. And it sucks, but that's what it is. You know what I mean? I rather err on the side, forever argument, on the side of caution. But yes, zooming into your situation, on all levels, we always have to be somewhat aware. But I think that there's somebody in your life, right, that's seeing what's going on with you, maybe not getting it, being kind of like a naysayer, I would say, maybe being chatty about it a little bit behind your back, might hurt your feelings, but we are evolving, right? We also have the star up here, so that tells me that you are really going to be working hard towards your goals here, and your goal really is a freedom of mind, that will affect your body in a way that actually lets it relax for the first time in probably most of your life, right? Since you were a small child. So we have the person with the hand out towards the star, and I really feel like drawing in towards that goal, okay? Being careful about the naysayer, though, right? And not careful in what they're saying, like they're gonna like really get one over on you or affect your process in a practical, real world way. But what it is psychological warfare. Okay, they're going to plant a seed and you are going to let it grow if you feed it, if you spend your time with it, if you consider it too deeply for too long. You know what I'm saying? So again, just ignore it as much as you can. It's poison, right? You know it is. It's a mind poison. Okay, so we have 500, we have 500, okay? Now, we also have, it looks like a person on a beach. We have a little beachy thing there. So, maybe going to the ocean, going on like a little retreat, maybe a day off, maybe it's a staycation. You're going to fill up that kiddie pool. You're going to sit in the backyard. You're going to put your feet in there for a minute. You know what I'm like? That sounds very nice. Very nice indeed. Like that's my speed of vacation at this point. Just a nice little trip to the backyard. We have a ram. So we have an Aries. We have the number 3. And I feel like you have an Aries person who has something going on. They got something going on. I'm going to pull a card or two because I want to see. They have something going on. It's an Aries, so they're not going to come tell you about it. You kind of have to vibe it out with them. Okay, so they have the 5 of Swords. So this is like they're real in their head. Just like the feeling of like everything is messed up. Like I screwed it all up. Everything is messed up. I don't know how to get out of this situation. I don't know how to get things working together. They're in need of love. Period. Love. I'm not saying romantic. It's just being there. Listening. Checking up on them every day. How you doing? How you doing today? How you feeling today? That type of thing. Okay, and then we're going to do one more. Okay, good. So we have the Queen of Wands. So coming into a place of going through the fires of fortification, going through different life experiences as rites of passage, becoming kind of this ultimate form that is tempered, but not to the point where it's hard, right? It's immovable, inflexible, whatever. I think walking with them through this situation that they're going through, which will be and feels emotionally difficult more than anything. I think that you're going to watch them transform. I think also being beside somebody as they go through difficulties in life, and I don't mean like just a spouse or whatever. It could be a friend. It could be a companion, somebody that you see once a week or whatever. It doesn't have to be like a close, intimate relationship, but just being beside somebody as they are going through, witnessing them. It changes you as well, okay? So I think this is going to be an important ordeal for you, okay? Which we do. We cannot. I think I'm getting old, man. I am. I just got so many, the reason that, and these kids. No, I love the kids. The kids are our future, Wu-Tang is for the kids, babe. Ula is for the kids. But I think the thing that really has tripped up a lot of us and collectively is doing anything we have to avoid hurting or feeling emotional pain or having to face whatever something is. If it is somebody else's fault, if it's an accident, if it's our fault, whatever. We will learn a full floor routine of backflips and all the other fancy things before we will just face something. I would say for the most part, all of us are like this. But that's not what the new world is going to be like, right? Because if we keep living this way, things are just going to, it's not just about it getting worse. Things are going to degrade to the point where, we cease to exist because we are not surviving. We're not functioning at our full capacities, which we need to do to survive as a species. So, not to be all doomy or anything, but we gotta start facing stuff. We need to transmute. We need to partake in the processes, even if they are dire, right? And so, anyways, I love you guys. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for spending this time with me. It's been rough, but, I feel like there's I got that little spring twinkle of life is lifing, right? But we're hanging in there. Might be some good days here coming up. So sometime 59, just having the little hope that there will be. 43. 98 and 98. All right. Well, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. If you want to like, subscribe, or leave a comment, that would be wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We'll talk soon. Bye.